Hey there. In this video, I'm going to try to answer a question that we get versions of fairly regularly, which is how often should my training plan change? And we're going to go as deep dive as we can, but for now, that in training, we are exposing our body to stimuli, to specific stimuli, in order to help generate specific and desired adaptations. They could be strength, range of motion, quality of motion, capacity, confidence, size, all of the above. And the conditions that you put on your body in and out of the gym and how you recover from them dictate the types of changes or non changes that you see. And your body needs consistent and extended exposure to something so that it knows what types of demands are being placed on it, so that it knows what is being asked of it, and therefore it knows where it needs to devote more of its resources. And like improving any skill in life, your body needs practice to know what it's supposed to be getting good at. And randomly, constantly, too frequently changing the stimuli doesn't give your body enough time or regularity with something to actually progress. Long story short, what does that actually look like? And generally, for most people, most of the time, and chances are if you're watching this, listening to this, reading this caption, that you fall into one of these categories, that the following guidelines, information, timelines are highly effective. And that's about every 12 weeks or so. From at least a training perspective, it takes 2 or 3 weeks for your brain and for your body to settle into something new. And during this time, you're starting to see the map for the first time, learning the directions, and you're more uncertain of the parameters, where the edges are, what to do, how to do it, etc. During this time, you're not going anywhere as efficiently or effectively or arriving as safely and effectively as you would be if you knew where you were going and you knew how to get there. The beginning is necessarily about learning new things, not yet diving into more intensive practice. The beginning is an adjustment period. It needs a few weeks for that. After you've settled in and you've learned and earned the ability to step up to a higher level, you are able to step up, and it's time to step it up. There are several weeks, say 8 to 10 or so, where you're buckling down and building. Training plan needs to have enough consistency of the right things so you can actually see yourself progressing, but also enough variety to be engaging. And these weeks, these 8 to 10 main weeks or so, are when that happens. You practice, you progress, you make progress. And however, over time, even the best plans get a little bit stale. Your body starts plateauing, your brain starts disengaging and wondering what comes next. And this usually, generally happens around that 10 or 11 or 12 week mark. And then guess what? Your body, your brain, your body have reached a sort of natural time for, boom, the next phase, about 12 weeks in. There are definitely times and places for shorter and longer plans, and we definitely use them. But changing too frequently or too drastically, say every day, every week, even every 4 or 6 weeks, forever, commonly means that your initial learning phase, initial learning the ropes phase, is just constantly repeating, and you're only left with a couple weeks of actual next level exerting, which isn't bad, it's better than nothing, but it's more like a string of short-term workouts than it is actual training before you're restarting all over again. You're never climbing as high as you might or you would, or you're missing out on months of potential progress because there is too much frequency of change. So tying all of this together is also how your training plan actually ties together. There should be a long-term and an even longer-term progression. What that means is that a 12-week plan is great, of course, but what about week 13? The next plan you do should be based on or building off of what you just did, your past, while also minding your future. A 12-week plan is nice, but what about 12 months or 12 years from now? Would having those in mind be even better? Yes, and we do. Bringing us all together at the end, how often should your training plan change? It depends, but when well constructed and integrated and adapted over time, 12 weeks with occasional and intentional deviations is usually a very solid standard. Short-term sprints and sizzle and periodic event training and topical goals are fine, but what is sustainable is going to be the most successful.